Well,
Let's see if that's any better. No. As you can see, we're coming live, but we are having some technical difficulties. But it's worth it because we've got a boss with us tonight. Alrighty. Let's see what we're gonna do about this. Well. We're trying to work out our technical difficulties. Please bear with us while we do. You have to hold that for me for a minute. Palms up, everybody. We're looking for a backup to make certain that we can get this show on the air. We've been having some technical difficulties, so bear with us. We appreciate your patience as we work out this echo. We are determined that this show is going to happen tonight. All righty. I think that might be better. All righty. Well, let's see if we can't get this show on the road. Why don't we? Hello, and how are you, dear Sister Nia? Palms up to you if you'll unmute. Looks like we're going to be able to pull the train out the station after all. Palms up. I tell you, they get me all nervous. I got my little 51 state shirt on, trying to come all correct before the freedom fighting sister and the devil tried to be busy. Palms up. Hey guys, welcome back for another week of the Palms Up Show. You just never know. But we always come prepared with a backup plan. It's your girl, and I'm asking you guys to please share the feed. We need all the support we can get as we continue to try to elevate. How about that? As we go forward, we still get reminded of where we come from, and we don't have a problem with that. Palms up. We have a beautiful sister who is gracing the platform this evening, and boy, do we have some guests lined up. So you guys keep us in your prayers, because I tell you, week to week, we just never know what's going to happen. This that overseer, you know who that is. Palms up, sis.
Palms up.
I tell you, we're going to figure this out, but we're going to keep the show rolling. Hey guys, I want you to know out there that Sister Nia X 2X is on the platform tonight. I'm sorry, I got a brain fart because I couldn't figure out if I was going to say your title or not, because you're representing NAN. Everybody knows that National Action Network is out there on the move. We've been seeing your dear fearless leader out there in the headlines, Mr. Al Sharpton himself. Palms up to Mr. Sharpton and all the wonderful work that you guys continue to do as an organization. And then you're a powerful house in and of yourself. So I'm going to let you guide us, because we're just so grateful, so thankful that you took time out of your schedule, because I know you just got back from traveling. You guys had a lot going on. So we have dedicated our entire show this evening to bringing your message forward, because we want folks to know that the fight is real, Sister Nia. And I know you're going to share some enlightenment, because you know that last election cycle I ran for mayor to challenge this mayor, and we got over 300,000 people, or at least 300,000 people not engaged in our issues. At least that's what the polls show. So will you come forward, Sister Nia, first and foremost? Sister Nia 2X, put some respect on that name, why don't you? Palms up. Will you come forward and please just share a word and help us to get this evening kicked off. How you doing, sis, since last you stopped past the platform?
I am faithful, thankful to be here. Can you hear me okay?
I believe I can hear you just fine. I got my
Good.
Facebook folks listening to us too, but we hear you
Okay.
just fine.
Well, thank you for the invite. Thank you for your work and your sister sitting right next to you. Indeed,
Yeah.
I'm thrilled when I got the invitation because when you have a contemporary, doing the work that you do, I admire you. I admire the kingdom and the work that you're doing because it's real,
Yes.
it's necessary, it's effective, it's positive. Who wouldn't want to be associated with something that is working, with something that is sincere? There are a lot of things out here and a lot of people that have led society the wrong way with great words, with insincere motives. And we are where we are today from those type of leaders. They come from all walks of life and they get a taste of power.
Yes.
If you don't have a godly sense, a godly direction to deal with power, then it's easy to be misled and you find yourself into leadership that leads people to the slaughter rather than lead them to the Lord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All work really, regardless of religion, should lead us to a good point, to something that is righteous, regardless if it's religion. But if you're leading and you're misleading, that's where we are today as a world, not just a society, city, country, a county. The world needs leaders, and Palms Up is a program that sincerely understands what people need to be fed mentally, psychologically, emotionally. We need to have information that puts our brain cells back in the direction that God made the brain to think. He made the brain to think right, in a right way. And Palms Up, in my small opinion, and I haven't told you that before, but I would not have accepted the invitation if I had any other contrary thought about Palms Up. So it's my honor to be with my sisters here in DC.
That's right. That's right. Representing.
My
That's
honor, and
right.
thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, no, that's so wonderful. You do us proud, Sister Nia. You've been on the ground with us in the past, and I am so honored that you obviously continue to support our work. You are certainly some big shoes to step into and to follow because you're out here leading the charge nationally with what you do with NAN. A lot of the folks, and again, when I say NAN, guys, palms up, those of you, I need to not give it any introduction because it does its own. Reverend Al Sharpton is the fearless leader who spearheads the activities of the National Action Network. You guys have just wrapped up in New York, I believe it was. And what was it that you guys were wrapping up? If you will enlighten us, why don't you, on any part of that you like to share and educate us on? I'm sorry.
Thank you, sister. The crowning event of the National Action Network is the annual convention. It's held every year. The Honorable Reverend Al Sharpton started NAN with others in 1991 in New York City. And it is really, NAN is, of course, the acronym, but it is the continuation of the civil rights movement that was cut short April 4th, 1968, from the untimely, horrible death of that great leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When he was assassinated, many tried to keep the civil rights movement moving in the right direction, but it slowed up and it just didn't have the same effect with Dr. King, nowhere near it. Reverend Sharpton often says that he was a teenager, either 13 or 14 in 1968. And he was a disciple. He didn't ever meet Dr. King, but he was working under the guidance at that time, under the guidance of three people, but one of them was Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Wow. Okay.
And from there, he was leading people to the polls as a teenager, leading marches on corporations that were not hiring Black people as a teenager. Really, all of his life, since the age of 4. He was called the Wonder Boy Preacher. They picked him up. They picked him up and put him on a soapbox at 4 years old. He has been working since the age of 4. Today, he doesn't celebrate his birthday. He works. He doesn't celebrate Christmas. He's working. He doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, any of the holidays. 7 days a week, the Honorable Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton understands his godly mission of civil rights for all human beings, regardless of your lifestyle, your nationality, your religion. You are a tax-paying human being. You deserve to have civil and human rights just as the next person. So it's an honor to work under his authority here in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and especially DC.
Yes, and I thank God for you, because as I said, you are such a beacon of or representation in terms of leading the charge for calling out issues. I remember getting a call from you, dear sister, when the legislation unfortunately went forward that allowed our 11-year-olds and older to be able to go forward with the vaccination process without having to have their parents informed. And many of us were incensed, but I remember you in the background leading the charge to try to garner us to kind of come together. And so which did you want to share anything on that before we go forward? Because I wanted to kind of talk about community and why you're such a beacon for us here locally.
Well, I'd like to accept that leading the charge. No, I joined the charge. I heard Reverend Willie Wilson at the time on WOL radio, and he was talking about it. So I made a couple calls and got involved with it. I was outraged, like any normal human being would be outraged to hear that the city council of DC had where the mayor could veto. That was the struggle. We were trying to get the mayor to veto a bill that was passed through the city council to have children as young as 11 years old to make their own decision of taking a, what was that? Not a virus,
the vaccination.
Yeah, a vaccine. A 2-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old. And so there were many groups. There was a Nation of Islam. There was Palms Up. There were many groups. Anise Jenkins, along with Fighting for DC Statehood, all of us came together. 100 Fathers Incorporated, Brother Frank Malone, we all came together as a community, as responsible adults, to try our best to stop that with the mayor's signature to veto, and she did not. I remember calling her, got no answer. I remember emailing her, got no response. And I emailed her and called her several times and left several friendly messages. She's the mayor. I got no response. That made a very sour impression on me. At least you could have said something. We're talking about our children, our future. And there was nothing reported back to me. And the bill went forward. As it stands today, I'm clearly not sure. I think some other senator or something got involved, and it kind of just went down the drain. So to say where it is today, I really don't know. But
yeah, and that's fair. And I appreciate you saying that. I realize that it's something that is still, kind of it's quiet. It's too quiet locally, in my opinion. We're just too quiet. I did read where there was one parent of a Caucasian nature who had went to the Supreme Court about it, and I'm just not certain how that panned out. But one of the reasons why I'm so eager to have you on the program is because you understand the importance of speaking out against injustices and the reality that civil and human rights is not anything that's a small thing, but for some reason here locally, when our folks have these issues, you joined us in our fight, our ongoing fight with the slumlord realities. We have a new attorney general now, and so we had to take different tactics. But I got a call just recently, as yesterday, from a gentleman who has invited me to his court proceedings that he himself is trying to follow up from being a citizen in that Woodbury project, in Woodbury Village process. And in the meantime, we're assisting their association president with putting a suit on record because the overwhelming presence of fraud in our city as it relates to the housing fiasco and debacle, it warrants that we go back and visit or revisit, I should say, the injustices that the folks at Woodbury Village were facing, because now maybe folks will realize that just how politically intertwined that was for them, because it was at a time where there were other instances that needed to be exposed, and the failure of the many agencies that Woodbury Project endured. I mean, I keep saying Woodbury Project, but it's Woodbury Village endured as a result of dealing with that. Is it needs to be nationally made known, because we got a call from a group in California, Sister Nia, California Community Development Corp, I believe is their name, and they are out there dealing with the same slumlord reality of this Capital Realty, who was the management and ownership of Woodbury Village. And so we were very honored and humbled that they would look up Capital Realty and that it would bring them to our doorstep. And they're worried that their seniors would be exposed to some of the same things that the Woodbury Village families have been exposed to. So the importance of activism is my point of bringing that up, because you just never know who else is dealing with it or exposed to it. Talk to us a little bit about NAN and like what kinds of projects are on you all's radar now, and what types of projects are you looking to, bring to the forefront in the near future, or, further?
Well, sister, when you look at the greater DC chapter of the National Action Network, we have three components that we deal with. We deal with national. That's when something is going on and the whole country is involved. We deal with local, as you mentioned, Woodbury and other things that are going on in the vicinity. And we deal with individuals. They may have a personal discrimination suit against their job or what have you. National Action Network has over 100 chapters around the country.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes,
wow.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Come on, God. And
at the national convention is when we all come together. We don't come together to party. We don't come together to throw our hands in the air and act like we don't care. Not at all. The Honorable Reverend Al Sharpton, I tell people all the time, God has his hands on that brother. He does. He understands his mission. So when we come together, we had this year, Tyler Perry, the Vice President of the United States, our dear sister Kamala Harris, Magic Johnson.
Wow.
Billionaire Robert Smith. Many people know that Robert Smith paid the school tuition for Morehouse College, I believe in 2020, paid off their student debt as a gift.
Sure did. Palms up to Mr. Smith. Palms up to all the beautiful people.
We had Hill Harper, and they're not coming as celebrities. We had, what's the sister? Kerry Washington.
Yeah, Kerry, yes.
They're not coming as celebrities and signing autographs. They have studied and understood the mission of the civil rights movement. It is just similar to the movement in the 1960s that was started by the untimely, horrible death of Emmett Till
Yes.
in Mississippi.
Yes.
And it's just as important today. I think today is far worse than it was in the 60s when you look at the corruption, when we look at racism, white supremacy, when we look at white privilege, when we look at even black on black crime. We can't ignore that. It's not just the police killing us.
That's right.
We are in a position of mass confusion.
Yes.
And that's why, again, Palms Up is a program everyone should make it their business to make sure you're viewing because you want to stay informed. As our dear sister Kathy Hughes says, information is power.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that information from a lot of shows around the country. Mainstream media is weakening.
Yes.
We see the game.
Yes.
We see the training. They're training our thinking, and it's not a good training. I have to admit, it's just not a good training at all. So God opened up social media.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man.
Palms Up
is
going to take us to the trail that we're all going on, the trail of freedom, justice, equality, and power. Nothing wrong with having power.
Not a
thing. Learn to use power in a way that God appreciates us using power. So the National Action Network in DC, we're focusing on right now. We have individuals that are having issues. The national issue is to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act.
Yes.
We need the police to be put under control. They are certainly out of control. It's not just a lack of training. It's just a combination of things. Also, NAN is pushing hard for, that would be the main thing, something about the debt ceiling. That's the talk this week.
Yeah.
You know, of having the debt ceiling raised. We don't push any agenda as far as the parties. Over the parties. NAN is informing 7 days a week on Radio 1. Reverend Sharpton has a program Monday through Friday called Keeping It Real. And that's where you and I and the public can call in from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. here in DC. It's on WOL 1450 AM. And of course, online, you can keep it real with the Honorable Reverend Al Sharpton. I keep saying honorable because DC, we started that title. We understand who he is, his sacrifices, his work, his focus, and his action. He says all the time, the national what? Action.
Action, that's right.
And I do want to say that here in DC, August 28th, in this city, on the anniversary of the 1963 March on Washington, along with Martin Luther King III, and his wife and their daughter, the only granddaughter of Dr. King and Coretta Scott King. Thousands are coming back to DC to keep pushing for major accomplishments, especially in the voting rights bill as well.
Yeah.
Voting rights bill.
Yeah.
So these are the national issues that are on the table. And we ask everybody, wherever you are in the country, make your plans. All roads lead back to Washington. You know, sisters, a lot of people say marching doesn't get nothing.
Oh my goodness.
They'll sit on the sideline and tell us marching doesn't get us nothing. We had the Million Man March.
Right.
And most people don't even know what came out of the Million Man March, of course, led by our good brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
And in that march, There were many adoptions from Black couples. See, mainstream media didn't talk about it, but we're talking about it on Palms Up years later.
That's right.
Years later.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
many Black men that left that march. They joined churches. They joined mosques, but that wasn't reported. There were many Black men that got involved in civic organizations, such as the National Action Network. They joined the NAACP. That's good news for Black people, but mainstream media didn't report it, and they created a false image as if nothing was accomplished in the march, but a lot was accomplished in the march. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you can check your local Nation of Islam mosque in your city and give them a call to find out about the money, because many people said, what happened to the money? But what wasn't reported, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan hired an independent auditor to count all of the money that the brothers were passing down to each other that day, October 16th, 1995, right here in Washington, D.C., the Million Man March, the most peaceful march ever assembled in this country by our brother. And they came together for three things: to atone to God, reconciliation, reconcile with your brother, stop killing each other because you have a disagreement, and responsibility. If you're not with the mother of your child, you still have a responsibility that child, to those children. That's what the march was called for. And the march was successful, whether it was reported by mainstream or not. It was very successful, and it is celebrated every year since 1995. So October 16th, check with the Nation of Islam in your city. Go to your mosque, as I had the pleasure and the privilege to go to October 2022. They went over the whole march and it was so elevating and so historical, and they told nothing but the absolute truth of the Million Man March. All were invited.
Awesome. Hey, I appreciate you, sister. Palms up to you again. Hey guys, it's your girl, and you know that's Overseer, and you know how it is when this technology God try to show up and stop this good word. But you know your girls are always pushing and fighting to make sure we bring wonderful folks before you, and we have not disappointed this week. We have the Honorable, as she says, the Honorable Mr. Al Sharpton, or Reverend Al Sharpton. We say the Honorable Sister Nia 2X, who is down on the ground in DC, who has heeded the call of the Healthy DCME organization on more than one occasion. She is standing for the citizen, for the small man, the little man, if you will, and she's dropping some pearls this week. She's talking about the anniversary annually of the Million Man March, which is October the 16th, and she's inviting us. Do you realize that march was 1995, and all these years later, the Nation of Islam is still celebrating the anniversary of what was a very powerful march. And guys, if you don't know your history, my young people out there, now is a great time to discover what the National Action Network is doing, so you guys can get involved, because we always need energy on the ground. As you heard, our dear Reverend Sharpton, the Honorable Reverend Al Sharpton, is big on action, and we've seen him at work many times, and we are so appreciative of him. Sister, you covered a couple of things, and I want to double back for a minute. One, you spoke about Emmett Till, and I know recently the young lady who said that he had done things to her, she died. I know that there was a post that went around, and I was interested in hearing the perspective, because there's your perspective, because there's some people who are still very emotionally charged when they hear Mr. Till's name come up. And so for many of our viewers, they are not necessarily familiar with the understanding of the significance of Mr. Till's contribution, if you will, to our history. Would you enlighten us and share some thoughts that you may have on hearing that his so-called perpetrator is deceased?
Well, sister, thank you. She died last week, Carolyn Bryant Dunham. In 1955, she was Carolyn Bryant. And many people do know, and many people don't know, as you stated, what took place. Although there's a movie that came out last summer, Whoopi Goldberg put $30 million into that movie, and she played a role. She played his grandmother in this true movie. It was Emmett Till's death that started the civil rights movement in 1955 because of his mother. And his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, she remarried when she allowed her son to go visit relatives in Mississippi, and he was brutally murdered, reprehensibly murdered. I mean, tortured, murdered. And when the body came back to Chicago and she saw that body in the morgue, she insisted, Mamie Till Mobley insisted, she wanted the world to see what they did to her son. And just recently, December 3rd, I had the privilege, the honor, the humility to travel with our warrior lawyer brother, attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, to Carolyn Bryant Dunham's home.
Oh, really? Wow.
We went to her home.
Wow.
December 3rd, 2022.
Wow.
It was our brother, the warrior lawyer, Malik Zulu Shabazz, who also went to her home about 2 months earlier. She was living in North Carolina.
Okay.
My brother, your brother Malik, was so bold with others, activists, John C. Barnett. He has an organization called, the acronym is THUG. It represents true healing under God.
Hey,
And so he and others traveled and went to her home, to her door. They were literally knocking on Carolyn Bryant's door, ordering her to come on out, Carolyn.
Really?
Face your accusation. And what took place was in January, in June of 2022.
Okay.
An arrest warrant was found in the basement of a Mississippi courthouse for Carolyn Bryant Dunham.
No way.
It was dated 1955.
No way.
So what happened when Emmett Till, who was 14 years old, visiting, as we said, in the South, he made the mistake and he did whistle at her.
Okay.
Child, he made the mistake. That whistle cost him his life. So about 3 to 4 days later, Carolyn Bryant's husband and his half brother, her husband's name was Roy Bryant, half brother John William Millam, Milam. They went to the relatives of Emmett Till, I say around 1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay.
Ordered that child out of the home and took him. There were others in the truck. It's alleged that Carolyn Bryant was in the truck, and they took him and brutalized him. They castrated him. They shot him in his eye. They did horrible things. There's talk that sodomy was involved. It was a horrible, torturous death. And then they threw his body into the Tallahatchie River. They tried to weigh it down with some type of machine, but it was so hot that the heat of the water brought the body up. And people in the community saw the body. They could not determine who the body was, but Emmett Till had begged his mother before he left for Mississippi to wear a ring that his father had. His father was in the military.
Mm.
wasn't living. And that's how
How
he
they
was identified
identify them.
by that ring. So when the
Mm.
sheriff came out
Mm.
to arrest the fellas and Carolyn Bryant, the sheriff decided, I'm not going to arrest Carolyn Bryant because she has two small sons to raise. So we're gonna let, we're not talking about Mamie Till's son, Emmett
Right,
Till.
right,
You
right.
know, and so she wasn't arrested. But that arrest warrant that was found, Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz has stated, and many others went to North Carolina, banged on her door, and got her on the run.
Mm.
They didn't answer. And then they found out she was living in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
They was tracking her. I know that's right.
So
Poor Jill for
I
that.
had the honor, along with Sister Dr. Ife Williams, head of the Dick Gregory Society. We traveled to Bowling Green, Kentucky, served the warrant. And
Wow.
we were met with the vicious threat of being shot from whoever. They put an alert out, a warning alert. Everybody with a cell phone in Bowling Green received the alert that whoever helped the protesters and whoever is a protester will be shot. We didn't care. We knew we was doing God's work.
I know that's
That
right.
woman. And then the police protected her in Bowling Green. They wouldn't let us get near her door. They protected her. Now, what we wanted quickly is her arrested, take her back to court, get her on the witness stand, let her testify again, because she had the audacity to try to write a book to get money.
Yeah.
Wow.
From what had happened. And in her own words, the contradiction and the lies that she said on the witness stand in 1955, no, you need to get your behind back to court. You need to raise your right hand under oath and be questioned about your involvement in the death of our teenage young brother, Emmett Till. So when she died, she died in Louisiana last week on the run. So we feel honored that we participated in pursuing God's justice for Emmett Till, his mother, his family, and those that love God's justice. We just feel great about it.
Sister, take a bow. That's awesome. And that's why it's important that we stay tapped in, because, here in DC, we have some major things going on and I want to touch on them. But just, what you just laid out for us, it's just such a representation of why we need leaders such as yourself, even here in DC, because we get so caught up in our local issues. Many of us don't know our history. And when you talk about him being a teenage boy, just because it's history doesn't mean that it doesn't resonate still present day. And then the fact that you guys would pick up the charge to go and to attempt to serve the warrant and to allow her to know and to leave here knowing that you guys knew the truth and that you represented, as you said, God's mission to bring justice for Mr. Emmett Till Smith. Palms up to him and his family. And I applaud his brave mother for being humble enough to share her tragedy with the world in order that it would wake us up on a level, or elevate the movement, I should say, to a level that it needed to be elevated to. And so present day, when you describe that, it makes me think about, you touched on the Black on Black crime and of course holding our police accountable. Locally, we got Conti, who's, out the door and headed to the FBI. Thank goodness that he served his purpose. I tend to believe when all that defund police conversation came up, out of the shadows came one of us. Seems like every time they want to silence us or push their own agendas forward, they use us against us. I'm just saying, So he came and he was ushered into office, and he had a passion, wanted to do a great thing, but everybody that looked at it knew that it was basically a setup. The guns were flying off when he came in office, and they still flying, and he going on out of there. And from the lawsuit that was brought by our dear female police officers, we got a problem on that police force, and I'm concerned about the supremacy existence on our dear police force. We've had some incidents here locally that have risen to the national, stage, and that I'm sure qualifies on NAN's register for conduct unbecoming an officer, or at least questionable. So what say you about the importance of activism or continued activism here locally as we remember our dear blessed Emmett Till, and how quickly the laws and our justice systems cannot get it right, and to the detriment of those of us that are still going through, because we got to wake up and stay woke, because these issues are present day, really. What do you think?
Well, sister, the issues affect every person on the planet, like COVID-19.
Yeah.
There's not one person that was not affected by this disease, whether your neighbor had it or somebody in your family or you yourself. And the issues you're speaking of are worldwide problems that are so completely out of control.
Yeah.
In the Nation of Islam, we're taught when Allah God crushes one nation, he automatically raises another nation. Automatically. They get simultaneously. We're looking at the fall of America.
Yeah.
And you see these prices. Go on down into the grocery store. Go on to your so-called favorite fast food place. Go to the dollar store. That's not the dollar store no more.
That's right.
It's not going to get better. It is going to get worse, because God is not satisfied with these so-called world leaders, not just Trump, not just Biden, all over the world.
Yeah.
He's not satisfied with the agenda that is misleading human beings the wrong way.
Yeah.
But as he again crushes at an incremental pace, he raises Sister Dr. Rhonda Hamilton. She woke up one day and said, I need to be the mayor. She didn't say city councilman. I said, well, Rhonda, you might want to start off at the city council. The mayor, Rhonda, what are you thinking? See, when God touches you, we may not can see your vision, but he gave you the vision and you stuck with it. He gave you the fortitude, because when he crushes rather one nation, he's raising another one simultaneously. We need leaders in position that love God, that serve the people the best way they can, not this greed and corruption and murder. Do me a favor, and just off the chain.
Yes.
So I can see better now where you were coming from, and Sister Jennifer Jalencia.
Yes.
Be on the city council.
Yes.
Do what?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
See, when God touches you,
yes,
he gives, that's an assignment.
Absolutely.
You stick with it.
Yes.
You stand with it.
Yes.
Because he plans, and the wicked plans, and Allah God is the best planner.
That's right.
He's planning. And we are either with him or we're not.
Hey,
I have to say that Emmett Till's distant cousin, is the client of attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. So she was with us in Bowling Green.
Okay.
She came to DC after Bowling Green, couple weeks, went down to Georgia Brown's restaurant and made an announcement that she's running for office.
Okay.
In my opinion, the worst racist state. I don't know at all, but my research says Mississippi is a horrible
we
racist
got to
state.
help that sister. Wow. I
And
tell you.
she's running for office. I forget
Okay.
the city council, I believe.
Okay.
And she's like you. She knows what she's talking about.
Awesome.
She's walking in fire like
Yeah.
you, walking in the fire. Rest of us is fire. No, if God has his hands on you, you'll walk in the fire.
In the
Her
fire.
name is
Yes.
Priscilla Sterling.
Priscilla Sterling is her name?
Yes, but wouldn't
Okay.
you know that the boldness and courageous manner that you sisters and brothers and people of goodwill do things right now as we sit, since last week, her son, Jacob Sterling, is missing. We don't know where he is. We don't know if he's living or dead. So as a mother, right now, where do you think her focus is? Running for office?
No, absolutely not.
Seeking to find her child.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He's 29 years old.
Oh,
His name is Jacob Sterling.
Jacob Sterling.
And
Okay.
he just showed up missing. He's been missing since April 3rd.
Wow.
And the family and people they hired a private investigator. They have a GoFundMe. You know, now that this sister decides to go up against Mississippi, she's
Yes.
got to find her son.
Yeah.
Mississippi, let me say, please, that in Jackson, Mississippi, the capital, 80% Black. They don't have clean drinking water
Wow.
today, like Flint, Michigan. They're
Wow.
still not drinking clean drinking water. They don't have it. They don't have it. She talks about along with Attorney Malik, the Corey Jenkins case. See, mainstream media, you know about these things.
Yes.
But they're not
Yes.
important to you.
Yes.
But they're important to Black people.
Yes. Yes.
Corey Jenkins, handcuffed, didn't have a police record, clean-cut young man. The police break up in his house. Somehow he's dating a Caucasian female, something idiotic. They handcuffed him, put a gun in his mouth, pulled the trigger, shot him in the mouth, lost part of his tongue, but he didn't die.
Wow.
And that's one of the cases that Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz is working on. These stories are not getting to mainstream, but keep watching Palms Up.
That's right.
Keep
That's
paying
right.
attention to Black radio and Black publications,
That's
because
right.
we're going to report and talk about the issues that are important to us. If you are
That's right.
Hispanic are going to have a radio station in their own language and publications, whether you Arab or whatever language. Groups, different racial groups have their own special interests.
Yes, they do.
So we
Yes, they
need
do.
to pay more attention if we want to learn, if we want to
That's
know, and we
That's
should
right.
want to be involved.
That's
We
right.
want to be involved, because what happens nationally trickles down to your city. When you come out your
Absolutely.
door, you come out
Absolutely.
your door, you see a stop sign that really holds up a lot of traffic, or a stoplight, or you need a stoplight, you need a stop sign. Well, you need to vote to get it. It's
That's
not
right.
just the national presidents. It's
That's
what's going on in your community. You want a swimming pool. You don't want a swimming pool. They want to put a toxic waste site in your community. You don't want it? Come out to the city meeting, put your one vote in with 1,000 others, and they'll have 1,001 votes. And
That's
that
right.
toxic waste dump is not coming in your community, where it infiltrates your drinking water, your bath water, and down the road, you can avoid catching some type of disease from the
Yes.
water being infiltrated from the
Yes.
toxic waste side. So everybody, we don't have an excuse today. Get involved in this war. You can send money. I don't want to vote. Well, send money to Palms Up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Send $1,
That's right.
send $50. Send
That's
what you
right.
can. Be involved, while God, in my research, is crushing a nation that is going down in our face. Well, what's happening? You see the weather? Well, what's
That's right.
going on?
That's right.
There's a combination of things going on around the planet. You see war, pestilence. It's all in the Revelation.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yes,
all
it
in
is.
there.
Yes,
So you
it
don't
is.
have an excuse. There's
Yes,
no
it is.
reason not to be involved. And you involved right now looking at palms up
Looking at
because
palms
you're
up.
getting fed information.
That's
And
right.
don't just take it and act like a lot of people say, yeah, I heard it, I got it, and you're not sharing it. Don't
That's
keep
right.
it just for you. It's
That's
for
right.
everyone, for your wife, for your son, for your community, for your girlfriend, for your boyfriend. Say
That's
something.
right.
Hey, if you don't say anything, hey, be sure to watch Palms Up. What's that? It's do your part. Because
That's
God
right.
is not playing.
That's
He's
right.
not
He's not.
playing. And
He's
we need
not
to
good.
stop playing as well. Get involved. What's the old saying? The harvest is ripe,
Yes.
the laborers are few.
That's
So be
right.
a laborer. Be found working in the vineyard while God is crushing a nation. And if you know their history, just a little bit of it, you can understand why another righteous nation is rising.
Rising. Sister, that's all right. Palms up. I'm telling you that I just love you to death. I love that you are woke. I love that you don't have a problem being so transparent and letting us know that the call to action is real. Hey guys, it's your girl, it's your girl. And if you didn't know, you need to know and you need to share the feed. Please get this beautiful word out. Guys, I'm telling you, as you hear our dear sis saying that one nation, when God crushes another, another rises, and we are living in some times, guys. I want to cover a couple of things or recover that sis brought to the forefront. This is Sister Nia 2X, representing the National Action Network and the Honorable Reverend Al Sharpton, who is out in the forefront. Many of us know his work. We know his passion for making sure to bring injustices to the forefront. Sister Nia 2X is sharing with us the need to pass the George Floyd in Policing Act. If you don't know what it is, Google so that you can have the detail understanding of it. We were talking about the death of Emmett Till and Mr. Emmett Till's death being what sparked the civil rights movement. Guys, if you didn't get to the feed on time or didn't catch us when we came in, please rewind, please share this knowledge. We want this to trickle down in our communities because, as dear Sister Nia 2X said, the need for activism, the need to get involved is upon all of us, and we need to pay attention to our local politics. Sis, and you mentioned that the Reverend Al Sharpton is on the Keeping It Real show on WOL, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. What day is that we can catch him on that?
Monday through Friday, 1 p.m.
Good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he gives out so much information, and of course, Politics Nation every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
You can always go back and see the old shows. You want to really be informed? You really want to know what time it really is. And we're in a war. If you don't know that we are in a war, it's not the conventional war with helicopters and tanks.
That's right.
Nonetheless, you're in a spiritual war. We're in a psychological war. We're in a nutritional war.
Talk about it. Hey, let me tag team. We're in a mental health war.
Yes, yes, we are in war. So you have to. If you don't understand that, then you're not listening to the right information. You're not. If you don't understand, and you may not understand just because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because it's true. Because what's coming up in 2025, it's not good.
No.
My enemy, they're planning 2025. They got something on the agenda. I hope I'm wrong.
Yes.
I hope that I'm wrong in my research. I hope I'm not telling what I have researched. It's not good. It's supposed to outdo COVID. No.
Yes. And you know what?
There's a group that doesn't love God. They are literally working to depopulate the planet.
Yes,
Right now
yes,
we have 8 billion, and this group, they are scientists, engineers, they're lawyers, doctors, police officers. They're not stupid people. They're wicked people. And
yes,
they
that's the
plan
word.
night and day against our demise. When I say our, whoever loves God, the creator.
That's
Yeah.
right. And
This
you
is
know,
not a game. This is
you
not a
use the
game.
word.
This is war.
No,
Get
yes,
involved. Stay with
yes,
palms up and get
yes,
fed mentally of
yes,
what is taking place so that when God touches you like he did Sister Dr. Rhonda, told her to run for mayor of Washington, D.C. She heard him and she obeyed him.
that's right.
Yeah.
The rest of us was
That's
like,
right.
is she crazy? What?
Look, they didn't think I was crazy when they turned that debate on. They didn't think I was crazy, huh, Sister Palms Up? Nothing but the gift of God took me to the national stage to say, if this is where this message has to be, if this is where this fight has to happen, then that's where we're going. And that's what the modern day activism looks like.
That's right.
We don't sit and wait for them to give us permission to
Mhm.
elevate the message. And sister, we are with you. We love the fact that you would drop these pearls on our platform. We love the support. And guys, I want to know, how do we get our folks, dear folk, in touch with you, Sister Nia? Because I'm sure there's some folks that are fired up, that want to serve, that understand and appreciate your commitment, that you guys would join the force to go and serve a warrant or Emmett Till. You are in it, sister. You are definitely modern day Sojourner Truth for me, honey. So tell me how we put folks in touch with your freedom fighting self.
Well, brothers, sisters, people of goodwill, everyone is welcome to the National Action Network, headquartered in New York City. Look online, just put in www.nationalactionnetwork.net. And if you'll see the telephone numbers to call to get the local chapter in your city. Just ask them for the chapter where you reside, and they will give you that number, and you call that chapter president and get to stepping. Because like I said, with those celebrities, Tyler Perry, some of the things he was saying, like I said, they're not up there in their celebrity capacity. They're in the civil rights movement.
That's right.
They're working, informing, teaching, telling, giving the stats that we're not finding in mainstream media, but yet it's our reality.
Yeah.
You could have Spike Lee, Sam Jackson, all of them, Chris Rock, all of them are with the Honorable Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton and the National Action Network. So that's the best way to be involved. And look up Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz to keep up with him, because he is literally coming out of Howard University. He is literally out there fighting dragons and demons, devils in the flesh. And, we're joining him again. There's so many marches that are taking place in Mississippi, and we don't hear about it.
No.
Yeah, they are marching. They're doing things down in Mississippi, and that's just one state. They're doing it in Texas. They're doing it in Ohio. They're doing it in DC. They're doing it across the country. These groups, these so-called supremacist groups, they're organized. They are serious. They are committed. And they are planning, and they are executing. They're in the execution stage of their plans. So it's nothing to be fearful of, because God does that kind of planning.
That's right.
When you know God teaches us who to fear. He says, fear him.
That's
You
right.
don't have time to be fearing anything. You don't fear life. You don't fear death. You don't fear anything except the Almighty God himself. He didn't give us life to just sit back and party all the time. Not all the time. It's okay. No, life is about balance.
Come
Right
on
now,
now.
Speak
Come
that.
on
Come
now.
on.
that will, it is, it's about balance.
You
But
just
right now,
speaking.
we're in a lot of trouble. They're
Yeah.
after your children. You got children? And
Yes,
you know any little children?
that's right.
You know the open enemy is after your children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's why you have children now that can tell you what they want to be, a boy or a girl.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, sister, that's
Children.
sister.
That's another
part
child.
of it.
Children.
Look, we
I
needed 2
said
hours.
children.
We
That's
needed
why-
2 hours for you, sis.
That's why you have children when they gave them the so-called responsibility to say whether I'm gonna take a vaccine. They don't even know how to spell
Come
vaccine.
on now. Come on, sis. Somebody
So
better
the
say
open
amen.
enemy is after your children.
Yeah.
Hey, sis.
And through television,
Yes.
through crazy music,
Yes.
through things on certain commercials, you see things.
Yes.
It puts
Yeah.
the power of suggestion in a child's mind.
Seduction.
Yeah.
Who does not
Seduction
know
is
how to
lust.
discern.
All of
Children
that.
don't discern on the level of adults.
No, and never should they. Never should they. And they're steadily locking up these pedophilia rings. And they got lawyers and doctors and everything in between. So you think you know what our perpetrators look like, and you just need to get informed and understand. And sister, you touched on something. God bless you. Palms up to you.
Please.
I said before, they fighting differently, and we got to adjust our understanding.
Yeah.
They used to knock us over the head with the billy clubs and use the water hose. Now they going to the schools to get our kids to take the legs out from under us. And I'm talking to my generational folks, because my kids, you know, in that suicidal generation are telling me that the generation divide is so great that's
Yeah.
how we're losing them. And so I keep asking my leaders out there, my elders out there, do you want to be right? Or do you want to keep our kids here? Because we got to learn how to fight differently. We can't stay so bound with yesterday's history. We know what it looks like. We know what it is. But now how do we carry forward with a strategy that doesn't alienate our children? We got to learn the modern day fight. And the modern day fight is that they're attacking our babies. And while we so busy raising our voices, talking about what happened yesterday, they taking us out of here by taking our children away.
Yeah.
And that's why we raise our voices when it comes to our children. And that's why we stay in the fight. Sister, in that debate, they asked us, the candidates here, if we were given an opportunity, would we release our hold on the school system? Because the current school system in the district is under the mayor. And my opponents were so quick to say, oh no, we would release it, we restore it to the administrators. And I'm the only one on that stage that said, absolutely not. After 8 failed years of policy and after what's on the horizon, why on earth would I give them open playing field to continue to attack our children? Our children don't have the mental health resources they need. They don't have the accountable government that they need to make certain that they can excel on the level that they need to excel. And if we walk away from the table, we set ourselves up as well as our children. So you ain't said nothing but the truth on the Palms Up show, sister. God bless you and palms up to you. We need 2 hours. I don't know what I was thinking. I tell you, God bless you, Sister Nia. I'm telling you, this fight is so real. We got these guns going off. I was just on a call with a group of our local doctors spearheaded by Dr. Chapman over there in Ward 5. They got an open air drug market right out the back window, to the point where the citizens that they've been there to provide health service for, the doctors ready to pack up and leave. They don't have enough or make enough to have to come in here and combat the issues that our dear city is dealing with. And no pun intended to our folks that are going through addictions, because addiction is real. But as a community, there are conversations that only we can have with one another. And if we're not going to care about one another and get them guns out of our young people's hands, let's start speaking it up and let's start getting involved. We are the modern day freedom fighters.
Yeah.
We are the modern day, if you will, Black Panthers. We are the modern day NAACP memberships. It is us. We need to join with NAN. We need to locally rise up in our communities, and our women. You have to come to the table. We need your voices.
Yes.
We need your nurture. We need your strength. My dear viewership, join me in a heartfelt palms up to the dear incomparable Sister Nia 2X of the National Action Network, reminding us that the fight is real. The struggle is real. And while we sit up to make up our minds locally, whether or not to stand up for our issues, This dear sister is traveling the globe trying to take down dinosaurs from the history books to make sure to let it be known that not on her watch. Hey, Sister Nia, palms up to you. With so much going on, I want to remind our viewers, August the 28th, the anniversary of the March on Washington. Come on, guys, get up, get in the know. Dear sister has mentioned the balance in life that we should be striving for. And that is a great segue for our mental health messaging that you know we talk about. You got to have the balance, that 8 essentials of wellness. And in that is spiritual, social, occupational, environmental. Come on, somebody. Physical. Guys, you got to have all 8 legs of the table level so that you can go forward and live your best life. And you must get involved because our children depend on it. So October the 16th is the anniversary of the
August.
No, I'm moving on to the Million Man March. I'm giving
I beg
you a
your
calendar.
pardon. Yes,
So
ma'am.
August the 20th, no problem. Let's go back because God wanted us to make sure that they got it. They was getting their pins out. August the 28th is the anniversary of the March on Washington. And this is your calendar of events. Don't say you didn't know. Nobody don't need to call you. If you're real about it, you show up. August the 28th is the anniversary of the March on Washington. Google it and get the details and get involved. October the 16th is the anniversary of the Million Man March. Look it up, get involved. And guys, Juneteenth is coming, and Juneteenth is June 19th. Stay tuned for a very important message from the Palms Up Show and your girl, Dr. Rondell Hamilton, former mayor candidate of Washington, D.C., who has kept her eyes on the community, who hears your cries, we getting your calls, and we coming forward on Juneteenth to give you an update because that is the midway mark since the beginning of the year, and we haven't seen any changes. We haven't seen the kind of changes that would warrant you to go quiet. I want you to know we don't have to spend 4 years in the same old mess. You heard Sister Nia, we need to get up, step up, stay woke, and get in the fight. There's something called repeal and recall. Do your homework. We can start it, we can circulate it, and we can start asking for leadership to change long before the 4 years have to go. So guys, I want you to know, palms up, we bring you this word because we want to educate and empower you. If it's your life conditions that you want to change, you have opportunity. You have leadership. You have the National Action Network, representative of Sister Nia 2X out of the Washington, D.C. area, representing and making sure you know that the fight is real. Hey, sis, thank you again. And I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you on any occasion because you're real and you bring that to the table. Did you have anything you wanted to share with our dear folks before we wind up?
Sister Rhonda, Sister Kingdom, you guys know I say Kingdom. I can't remember the appropriate name. Kingdom?
Yes.
Kingdom, Kingdom Life Outreach Center Ministry.
Yes.
Thank you. I want to thank you for your work. I praise Allah God for you sisters and all that you're doing because you understand what needs to be done. And that's what it is. Most people just don't understand. They look at too much television.
Yes.
Look at too much. It's on social media, brothers and sisters. Last thing I left out, the Honorable Reverend Al Sharpton is working hard on gun legislation.
Awesome.
On the assault weapons that people are just easily able to buy and shouldn't. So that's a major agenda, along with the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act and all of that comes with that. Gun legislation is very important.
It is.
The bill passed to keep these assault weapons in particular out of the hands of anyone and everyone because of what we are seeing each and every day. What happened in California to that family and an 8-year-old child as well lost his life. But thank you for having me. Thank you for doing the work. I feed off of your energy and I appreciate you both. And I appreciate the work you're doing and certainly appreciate the invitation.
Oh, thank you, sister. I tell you that we struggle week to week to try to bring this word. We don't get into the vanity of it. So I thank the technology guys for making certain that they help to bring this message forward. Palms up to you, sis. I'm going to talk to you offline because the fight continues. And I definitely, as you got the call before I made the decision, I'm always going to confer to my wisdom, because that's just out of respect, because I do know that you're keeping your eye on this town and the kingdom. So with that said, dear Sister Nia, I look forward to talking to you in the background. And guys out there, palms up, share this good word. We touched on history. We touched on present day. We touched on the need for you guys to be woke, stay woke, and join the fight. Don't just talk about it, be about it. And you know what I say, mental health matters. So remember that balance. You need it even when you're freedom fighting. You heard it right out of her mouth, dear Sister Nia 2X. Guys, we are out here in this fight. I want you to Google Mr. Malik Zulu Shabazz and stay woke. Find out what's going on. Get your calendars together. Guys, and come on out. There's always room at the table. And today's fight is different from yesterday's fight. But that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be at the table. Palms up to you out there. Share the feed. www.healthydcandme.org is the website. You can go on and look at the past episodes of Palms Up. And guys, we thank you every week. This scheduling has gotten out of whack, because I tell you, we try, but I tell you, the devil is a liar, because we bringing you this word no matter what. Palms up out there. Thanks for your loyalty. Share the feed, and mad love to Sister Nia 2X of the National Action Network, representing the Palms Up platform tonight. Love you, sis.
Thank you. Love you too.
Talk
Love
to you soon.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, Facebook. Palms up out there.